Hi, wanted to talk a little bit about sleep systems, mainly sleeping bags and sleeping quilts. I just wanted to talk to you about a few things and show you how I started off at this and I've ended up at this. So let's start from the beginning. So when I started out camping, I used this kind of thing. This is a £60–70 sleeping bag from a local hiking shop. Comfort -5 degrees centigrade. I only look at the comfort rating, I don't look at anything else, so that's what I measure everything by. So -5, it weighs 2.3 kilograms and it is a beast. This is a synthetic bag. I'll take it out so you can have a look. No compression sack. So I do actually like this bag. It does keep me very warm, but you can't hike with it. It's just too massive, too heavy. If you're family camping from a car, they're quite good. They're cost effective, cheap, and it doesn't matter if they get damp, it's just synthetic down. So let's just fluff it up. So how are they saving cost compared to an expensive bag? So the fabric is not too bad. It's quite light, not that light, fairly light. The outside is a bit heavy. It's got baffles inside, so that's quite good. It's not sewn through, so that's why it does keep you quite warm. It's got a hood, which again is quite heavy. Toggles, which are quite heavy. Massive zip, huge zip, which is really heavy all the way down the bag. It's quite nice inside. It's got a big foot box. It's a mummy shape. Quite long. I'm 6 foot and it fits me about right. So heavy, big, bulky, not the best quality insulation in there, but does the job if you're hiking. So that's that. So you can go from there to that. This is, I would say, just over half the size, not quite half the size. This is a RAV 700 bag, a cent. I think this is 1.3 kilograms. So now you're saving quite a bit of weight, but quite expensive. It's not a cheap bag at all. It's still bulky, it's still pretty big. This is a winter bag, -5 degrees centigrade again. And this is the bag I use quite a lot. I do like this bag. This is a down bag. So that's how they're getting the weight down a bit on that one. Still 1.3 kilograms. It's quite a lot for a bag. Let's get it out so you can have a look. So Rad makes some good quality stuff. Obviously it needs to fluff up a bit because it's down. So what have they got here? They've got high quality fabrics, lightweight front and back, quite a big hood, smaller lighter weight zip, still quite strong, but still a little bit of weight there. Heavy bungee is really heavy. It's got quite a lot of bungee in it, but it is down, keeps you very warm. I've had this down to -7, -10, and it's been fine. It's got nice neck baffles in it to keep your neck warm and all that kind of stuff. So this is quite nice. I use this, I hike with this, and it's good. And if it gets really, really cold, I would probably still favour this over anything else. Now, the problem with sleeping bags is the only thing that keeps you warm is air. It's not the down or the fabric or anything else, just air. The insulation is there. The only purpose is there is to trap the air. Still trapped air is a brilliant insulator. So that's why it's made like this, with nice baffles in there and things like that. So this puffiness is what keeps you warm. It's the air inside that's keeping you warm. So you've got all this down on the back underneath you. Why would you have that? Because when you lay on it, this down compresses to nothing and you're laying straight on the ground or a pad, and that is giving you no warmth at all. That's just thin fabric now, there's no air in there at all. So you're carrying all this weight and bulk, it's not giving you any extra warmth, and you are quite constricted in there. It's a mummy shape, it's designed to fit closely, so you've got less air to warm up, but there's a whole lot of wasted stuff on the back that's never going to do anything for you, but you're carrying it every time you go hiking. So, down bags, they're alright, but you can do better. This is where I am now. I just made this one. This is a top quilt. This is not a sleeping bag. This is a 0 degrees centigrade top quilt, and I'll explain a little bit how that works compared to a -5. But this will do the same job as those, and this is only 815 grams. This is very light, and you see the size of it, it's tiny, so it fits in your pack really nice. So I'll just get this out. So I made this from, this is a new, it's not a new concept, it's been around a long time, since the 70s, 80s. Ray Jardine in the States, I think he was the first kind of guy to really do it. There may have been people before him, but it's the first one I know of. He kind of invented the idea of having a quilt instead of a sleeping bag. You can look him up online. So, you can make these of down, which is good, but I wanted a synthetic one. So this is 815 grams and it's synthetic insulation. Now, so it's got loft in it. Definitely less than the rab bag, but enough to take you down to 0 degrees without any clothing. So once you get your thermal layers on, maybe hiking trousers, maybe a down jacket, you can take it down to -7, -10, no problem. That way, and other options like baby quilts, and I'll show you that in a minute. So this basically, I'll show you. This is just one big square sheet. It's actually tapered into the foot end to save a bit of weight. So, why would you go with a big square sheet? Mainly for versatility. So, first thing you can do is just, if you're sitting around camp, you can just put it around you, keep you warm. Easy. Nice and light. Synthetic, so if it gets wet, it's still going to keep you warm, unlike down. Next thing, if you want to sleep in it like a type of sleeping bag, you need to wrap your feet up. You don't have to, you can just use it like a quilt, but you'll get drafts and things like that when your feet are moving around at night. So this, I put cam snaps in the bottom of here, so all you do is snap these together. This is going to go underneath you. So that creates a little tube, okay, and then you take this end, and it's got cords and cord locks, and you just cinch that down. Now it'll go down so far, and then you'll have a little hole. And you don't want a draft there, so it's got a little little cushion that you put in there. Cinch that up tight, and then you just do like a shoelace tie with a bow, and that just holds it in place, and that completely blocks it off. No air's getting in there, and so you've got a foot box completely enclosed. That's underneath you, and the rest is on top. So you're sleeping on a pad, either a foam mat or a blow-up pad. This is an X-Ped Down Mat Light 5. I really like this mat. Takes me to any temperature, really comfortable. You put your feet in the foot box, like that. Lay on your pad, put the quilt over you, job done. Now the good thing is you're not restricted at all. Obviously you can put your arms out, put your legs out if you're hot. If you're getting too hot, it's easy to vent. You're not constricted like a mummy bag. So that's good, so that's okay, that's one way of doing it. Then some people, if it's starting to get really cold, so like this is okay. You might want to tuck these under your shoulders, tuck it in a bit. If it's really cold, this gap here is where you're going to let hot air in and out, so I'll show you how we solve that. You'd wear a hat and probably a pillow, things like that. So to sort out the draft around the neck, all you do is I've got two cam snaps I put on. So you just put those on, and then you've got a cinch cord, put that there, then you can just draw it up. There you go. So now it's tight in around my neck, it's not going to move while I'm sleeping. I've still got gaps here, so you can tuck those in if you want, if you really want to be tucked in, or you can snap it all the way up and use it like a bag if you want, but I like it free, so I'm not constrained at all, and that'll take you down really really cold, and you'll be really comfortable with that. So that's the use of a quilt. So it's putting down or insulation where you need it, which is basically all over you but not underneath you, because it's completely useless there. So it's really optimised for what it needs to do. What else can you do with a quilt? You can unplug it and have it completely flat. You can cinch it all the way up. You can vent the feet end, so you can leave a little hole for air to flow at the feet end if you want to have airflow there. What else is there? Right, next thing. Sometimes bags get wet in the morning. You've seen on my other videos about vapor quilts. So this is a vapor quilt I made to go with the top quilt. So again, this is super light. This is much smaller than a quilt. Similar design, much thinner insulation, very thin insulation. Still got poppers and things like that. Breathable. This is kind of waterproof. It's DWR, so it keeps moisture at bay. And all you do is put that over your quilt. Like that. And that will keep all the quilt dry at night, with condensation forming due to the heat of your body going out and hitting the cold outer surface. So this will keep your quilt dry if you want to do that. It'll also add a few degrees of warmth to your quilt, so you can layer quilts. This is 0 degrees. If you want to go to -5, you could add another half of this weight on top, and that would take you to -5. Or you could put this vapor quilt on, and that would take you to 3, -2, maybe 3, depending on what you're wearing. So yeah, there's lots of options there. One thing people do complain about sometimes is these can move around a lot if you're a restless sleeper. So some people like to attach it to their pad. So it comes with a little strap like that. And then you just take any of these little clips that I got on the side, and you clip on your strap like that, and then that goes under your pad and clips onto the other side, and that just holds the quilt in. It's a little bit more difficult to get in and out depending on how tight you make the strap, because it's all adjustable, of course. You can see now the strap goes underneath your pad and just holds it in place when you're wrestling about, just stops it coming off. I don't tend to use the straps much. I don't find I need them, but it's there if you want to do it. So I just wanted to show you the benefits of a top quilt, how they're done, what the benefits are. The weight savings are massive. If you went for a down top quilt, you'd save a little bit more weight again, but then you'd have to manage moisture more. But the cost would be a lot higher, maybe even double. And this is using ClimaShield Apex insulation, which is the best in the world at the moment for artificial insulation in terms of loft. You can machine wash it, it dries super fast. The reason it's black on the outside is because you can put it over your tent in the morning and the sun will dry this super fast, absorb all the heat. And inside you can have any colour you want inside, doesn't really matter. And there you go. So that is the top quilt and why you'd use it over a sleeping bag. It's very nice soft taffeta fabric, 20 denier, really soft and light. All the seams are nicely done internally, so you can see the quality there. Really nicely done, and yeah, really pleased with the way it turned out. I think that's going to work really well. Now what I want to do now is to do a lot of testing now on the quilt itself in different temperatures. I like to camp in the winter mainly. It's getting spring now, it's warming up quite a lot, so I'm not sure I'm going to get the temperatures to test this. I might make another one. I might make a much more light kind of summer weight one, and that would be lighter again. So this is 815 grams, so you could get it down to 650, 700 grams. Maybe 600 grams for a summer quilt, depending on how hot you sleep and what you sleep in. So you can get them really light. So this is the new solution for me. Hope you like it. Have a look at top quilts online. There's loads of them online. Enlightened Equipment make some great top quilts. I really like their top quilts. So go and check them out, and I'll see you again. Cheers. Bye.